Hi, everybody. It's Eva. Let me take off my glasses. And April Fools, you thought we weren't going to meet tonight, but we are. Actually, that was done inadvertently. We had some bad weather here in Jamaica and caused a lot of delays, and the internet has been down. And coming home, we ran into an accident. I wasn't in an accident, but the
Hi, everybody.
cars in front of me were in an accident. Oh, hold on.
And
We've got some technical difficulties.
You thought we weren't going to meet tonight, but we are. Actually,
Oops, sorry about that. It's always something very new and exciting around here. So I wanted tonight our session is actually going to be a little bit short. It's going to be a little bit short tonight. And it's because I want to expound on this a little bit later. But what someone told me, someone that I was coaching actually had said that while she wasn't able to afford to continue with the coaching, she started to model something that I had recommended, which was a mastermind. Now, I thought, I remember when I didn't know what a mastermind was, and I remember how valuable that was for me when I was learning about it. So I wanted to share the concept of the mastermind with you. What is the mastermind? Why is it helpful? Why do all of the top, gurus and leaders and teachers swear by it and use it, and how you can use it to not only improve yourself, but help to build your personal self and your bank account. So let me just back up and say, first of all, if you've never heard of a mastermind, check out the book, Think and Grow Rich, because that's actually where I was introduced to this whole mastermind concept. And it's really quite amazing. But Napoleon Hill, the author in that, spoke about how using this mastermind, which is really just different people with different areas of expertise in a room sharing and talking. But by using the power of the mastermind, he called it, you would be able to move exponentially faster towards your goal, towards any goals that you may have. So think of it like this. Think of maybe 5 to 7 people that are either in your industry or in your field or in an area that you want to know about or that you want to advance in, and they know more than you, and they're really willing to help you, and they're really, really, really successful. Maybe your mastermind, well, I'll tell you, your mastermind might include like an Oprah or a Deepak Chopra or a John Maxwell or a Jim Rohn. I don't know, but think of people who yourself you would like to model and be mentored by, and imagine them all in a room talking about whatever it is you want to talk about and supporting your goals and your desires and moving forward for the future. Wouldn't that be exciting? Well, that is actually the whole concept of a mastermind. It's really just about minds, different people getting together to raise the bar, as it were, in areas of their life or their businesses that they feel like are important for them to grow. So now I heard about the mastermind through the book, like I just said, Think and Grow Rich. And I live in Jamaica, as many of you know, and I wasn't finding a lot of people that were using the words that I was learning and the new concepts that I was using. But I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and he and I spoke, we spoke the same language. So we would say things like abundance, and we would say things like prosper and prosperity. And we would talk about having, doing, and being at a higher level than we were. And then I met another person and we started having the same conversations. And then I met another person, same types of conversations. And I thought, you know, of the hundreds of people that I run into on a daily basis, there are only about 3 or 4 that I can have these types of conversations with and feel like not only am I learning and growing, but the people I'm able to teach as well what I'm learning. And there's a reciprocity there with the relationship. So I thought, wouldn't it be great to put these 3 or 4 people in a room and see what happens? And sure enough, I was able to convince, there were 4 guys, and one of the gentlemen introduced me to another 5th person. Right. And so I made number 6, right? 4 guys that I knew. 1 was invited, that makes 5 guys, and then I'm the 1 girl. There were 6 of us. And the first meeting, I said, guys, just come together in a room. I'd like to introduce you to somebody. I think it would be cool to have a conversation. It shouldn't be more than maybe a half hour. Let's just introduce ourselves and you know, see where it leads. And after about a half hour, as a matter of fact, I think our first talk that was supposed to last a half hour ended up lasting 3 hours. And that's just because when you surround yourself, or when you get people in a room, who are like-minded and who have similar goals, or at least are committed to moving towards their goals in business, in relationships, in you know, it could be decorating, in whatever area of your life you want to, where you want to grow and you want to develop. But when you get those minds in a room, you learn so much. And you have to be able to go into this mastermind experience with a learning mind, open to receiving whatever information, open to hearing the expertise that comes out. Now, ideally, you want to meet with your mastermind. Well, we ended up meeting once a week. We were going to meet once a month, but we just enjoyed each other's company and conversation so much that we ended up meeting once a week. And that was awesome for us when we started out. We ended up kind of moving to once a quarter after about a year or two, after about 2 years. But let me give you some information on how the mastermind helped me. My mastermind helped me to number 1, stop obsessing about money, stop obsessing about not having any money. Whenever I would come to them with any kind of challenges to say, oh, I don't have money for this, I don't have money for that, they were really great about helping me to see the perspective. And let me give you some background as to the people who were in my mastermind. There was one person who, well, everyone was an entrepreneur, but one person had a law degree, and as a matter of fact, he runs a very successful company here in Jamaica right now. And he had a law degree, but he also had taught, and he came from more of an affluent background than the rest of us. So he was very used to having money, but he was also learning about investing his money well and wisely. And so he was a great resource when it came to looking at the grand scheme of things, money creation, how to behave when you have money versus how people behave when they don't have money, what to do when you do get money, how to set yourself up for success in terms of, you know, if you're doing business in a climate like Jamaica where the honor system does not work very well, you have to set up systems so that people feel taken care of. They don't feel disrespected, but they also feel like, you know, they've got some understanding of the rules and how things work, and so that you can get paid. So he was very good with helping with that. We had another entrepreneur who he still is, everyone's still alive. Another entrepreneur who had started his company while he was still in college, I think a sophomore in college. And he's grown his company now to do work not only here in Jamaica, but all over the Caribbean. And so he was really a really good resource to help us understand about, well, to kind of point us in the direction of additional knowledge and learning when it comes to how to handle large, big, massive sums of money. So that was very helpful for him. Another one, well, let me just outright and say, we all had read Think and Grow Rich. All of us had read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I think all of us had read The Science of Getting Rich, or As a Man Thinketh. I mean, there were just those core texts that we had all read. So we all kind of came to the table with a very basic kind of understanding of what everybody had been exposed to. And I think if you're going to start a mastermind, that's a really good place to start. Yes, you want to start with the desire of, what do people want to get? Why are they in the mastermind, and what do they want to get out of it? But I think it's also a really great idea, if you're going to start a mastermind for yourself, make sure everyone has some sort of basic agreed upon belief system or standards. Otherwise, you're going to come into conflict during your mastermind discussions, and that's not the point of a mastermind. You want to, of course, you may have some differences of opinion, but you definitely don't want it to be a hostile environment. You want everyone to kind of be drinking from the same well, as it were. All right, so that was one thing that we had. Another thing that came in very handy throughout the masterminding process was the introduction of new resources. So anytime any one of us would read a new book, which was always, we were all, every week, we were all always reading something new. And that was wonderful because we were all growing so fast, and we didn't want while we weren't competing, it was all about helping and supporting each other. Just listening during that hour or two long session that we were together each week, just listening to another person talk about, oh, you've got to read this good book. This person says this, and this, they grew their empire like this, or this person says that, and they're coming from a spiritual perspective, or, hey, what do you think about this philosophy that I'm studying now? And it was just really, really great. If you have a mastermind, it's just really, really great to be able to, like I said, share ideas, share information, share insights, share motivation, and support one another. And let me go on and say, I started the mastermind that I started. Again, we call it the mastermind, but our objective and our focus was on creating wealth. Like I said, you can start your mastermind with any focus or objective that you want, but ours was specifically on creating wealth, which was amazing because the amount of support that came just from that objective was great. So as you know, I wrote a book called How Not to Practice Social Work, as you may know. Sorry, some of you may not know. And the people in my mastermind were extremely instrumental in encouraging me to write it, in helping to support the concepts that ended up becoming part of the book, and even in buying the book after it was written. I mean, I would just as well given it to them, but many of them bought it. So that was great because, again, these are my peers who understand the process of creating a product. They understand market, they understand value, and they understand that, business is one thing, and, as they say, money talks, everything else walks. So it was really, the mastermind was really instrumental in helping me get my message across, excuse me, get my message across in my book. So I've mentioned that we would read books. I also mentioned that we supported one another financially and in our different projects. Very, very, very important. And anytime you are trying to create something, like I said, you want people that are smarter than you, that know more than you, because those are going to be the people that can shorten your learning curve. And that's really the commodity that we're talking about here. We're talking about time as the most valuable resource that you have. So that's the benefit of hiring a coach or becoming a part of a mastermind. Now, if you don't know anyone or any masterminds in your area, you can start your own. You can find people who are like-minded like you. And let's say you live in a remote area. Luckily for you, you can do a mastermind online. You can find people, and remember, you don't need a lot of people, but you can find people who are interested in what you're interested in, or who have experience in an area or in areas of what you're interested in that you don't have experience in. And that's great, because you guys, online means you can be anywhere in the world. You can have someone be talking to people from all different parts of the world and, be getting great information. And there's your mastermind. Now, when I first heard about the mastermind, I was introduced to the concept, like I said, through the book Think and Grow Rich. But I read a lot online as well, and many people were saying you can make money from a mastermind. I did not understand what they meant, nor did I understand how that would be possible, since we're all kind of just sharing our insight and information. But it's very possible to make money from a mastermind. And the way you do it is you, again, have to come with you've got to come with, you bring value to the table as well. So your knowledge base serves as part of the value of the mastermind. But if you get really high quality people in your mastermind, and you're able to direct conversations, you're able to organize the learning or organize the discussions. And if you are the person who sets up the mastermind, you can absolutely charge other people to be a part of that. And they, however, or I should say as well, they actually have a part to play in contributing to the mastermind. So people will actually pay you to, yes, get your information and information from other people, but to share their information. People will pay you to do that, and that's absolutely possible. I'm going to be creating a program to help people do that as well, how to start your own mastermind and how to have fun while doing it. I tell you what, we used to meet on, let's see, Monday nights. We met on Mondays at one time, I think Wednesdays another time, and that was my favorite time of the week. Now, we've since stopped meeting because one person has moved to another part of the country, another person has moved to another country, so it's been just very hard. Another one had 2 babies at the same time, close to the same time. So it's been really hard since last year to meet, but we still keep in touch with each other. We have a Facebook page, and we still, say hi to each other and wish each other well and keep in touch in our smaller areas. So now I want to hear from you. What, if any, do you have any thoughts about this mastermind concept? Do you have any thoughts about what it would be like to create a mastermind for yourself? Do you have any concerns? Is there anything that was confusing to you? I know that's a lot of questions. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to check to see if there were any questions. So you might be wondering, how long does it take to start a mastermind? And like I said, it doesn't take long at all. It just takes you knowing or identifying people who would be a part of your mastermind and setting a date. That's it. It doesn't have to take long at all. And what you might need to start a mastermind, again, The only thing that you need to start a mastermind is your desire to learn, to grow in whatever area that you'd like. And you need a format to be able to meet people, whether that be online, whether it be in person. But everyone needs to be able to discuss. All right. So it wouldn't be, a mastermind is not efficacious on, via text message. You can use text message as a supporting tool, but it's not, you would have to talk, or you would have to talk to each other, or you would have to, talk to each other in person or online. Absolutely. Okay. So I tell you what, I want to hear from you. What do you think about masterminding? And is it something you'd be interested in? So the question would be, I suppose, how likely, the question I want to ask you is, how likely are you to either start your own mastermind or join a mastermind? How likely are you to do that? And the other question would be, if you did start a mastermind, what would it be about? What would your topic be? Would it be on how to create a happy, joyful relationship? Would it be on how to make money online? Would it be on, better practices as a social worker? Maybe it would be, if you're on a natural hair journey like me, maybe it would be on your natural hair journey. I don't know, but I'd love to hear about it in your comments. And so with that, I'm going to leave you. So guys, have a great night. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you again next week. Let me know if there's any particular topics that you would love for me to discuss or share with you, and I'll do my best to make sure we cover them. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Bye.